Okay, well, thank you, Maurice. Yes, as Maurice said, I'm following up on Phil's excellent webinar last week, just talking about all the legal requirements of a website, and that's really important. I mean, I can't stress enough, there's nothing worse than having data you can't use or being accused of spamming someone. So it's really important that you do understand the legal stuff. So I would encourage, if you haven't seen it, to go back and look at Phil's webinar from last week. Right, so what I'm going to take you through today is what to think about before you build a website, during the build, and after the build. And for me, the most important part is before the build. You know, the worst thing you can do is go off and talk to a web developer. So I'll explain why that is. You need to do some thinking on your own, some planning on your own, think about your business, because you know it a lot better than that web developer. And once you've started the process, things fall into place that necessarily are leading you in a different direction you probably should have gone. So it's really important to think about what you're doing up front. A bit more about me, why I'm here talking about this. Believe it or not, I set up my first e-commerce website back in 1999. So that was the second website in New Zealand that had online credit card processing. So yeah, I've got a lot of history in website development. I now work with numerous companies. So a lot of the work I do is around helping companies develop websites. And you know, what amazes me most with that process is, one, when you actually drill down into their business and understand what they need, quite often it's quite different. They just think, oh, I need a website. And there's so many variations of websites, and I'll briefly touch on that today. The other thing that always surprises me is how often we use different companies to build these websites. So I certainly don't get involved in the building, but I'll certainly go and meet with companies and, you know, understand their resources, look at what they've done previously, which is really important. And it always surprises me that, you know, it's very seldom we'll go to the same web company. And that's because, you know, some people are specialists in areas. Sometimes you might be able to do it yourself, just a simple online program. We can build your own website. Sometimes a one-man band's perfect. Other times you need a massive multinational that can do currency exchange or massive marketing automation. So I'll kick into it and explain a bit more as we go. So let me just get my slides up. So hopefully everyone can see that. So yeah, we're talking about taking your business online. Okay, so got three parts to the presentation: determining the best online solution for your business and budget, briefing and working with developers, and then driving in customer engagement and loyalty, you know, maximizing your ROI. So yeah, there's three parts to this: before, during the website development, and afterwards, because it's one of those things, if you've built it, you still need to optimize and learn as you go. So we'll kick into it. So I've got 6 points to determining the best solution. Your customers are already online. Understand the options, understand your customer, know the customer's future, and that's not as hard as that sounds. Deliver the solution your customers are looking for, and great websites obviously deliver great return on investment. So there's no point building something if it's just going to be an expense. You need this to be driving revenue and leads. So first point, your customers are already online. They are researching the brands, products, and services they will buy. So if you're not there and your competitors are, you're already behind the game. So that's how people are choosing to research. And many of them are also increasingly choose to purchase online. And we saw an exponential growth in that during the lockdown. Obviously, stores were closed. And so I think that's led to a lot more rapid conversion to online shopping, because people have realized, hey, this is actually a really simple and easy way of doing this. Saves a lot of time and effort, and mainly that's why people shop online, is for range and convenience. So, you know, they're already doing it. It's only going to accelerate. So you've probably got to be there sooner rather than later. But in saying that, online retail might not be for you. So I'll explain a bit more about that too. So first of all, you've got to understand the options. So, you know, everyone rushes off to a web developer and they go, oh, I need a website. You've actually got to sit back, look at your business and understand what's right for you. So, you know, you just might need an information website. So when people are searching for information, you know, and especially say if you're you do concreting, you probably just want to have the right information on your website so that people find your business. Pretty hard to sell the product or service online, but you can draw them into your website and then make it really easy to find out who you are, how to get hold of you, you know, see other work you've done. So it's more of an information website. Then you have, obviously retail, you know, so you can have a retail website. And then you can have something I love called marketing automation. So I'm going to talk briefly about the option. So this is a classic information website. The government's done a beautiful job. They're not trying to sell me anything. They're not trying to capture leads and data. They just want me to be informed. So the brief here is make the information readily available. Boom, this site does that. Retail. Amazon are obviously the best. So if you're going to look at a retail site, learn from them. They're simple, they're clear, the search bar is huge. There's a lot of stuff they do right. You can see what's in your cart. So again, this is all about hardcore trying to sell me stuff. Makes it easy and quickly for me to buy stuff. It learns as I go. What have I bought previously? If I've bought a camera, then the next best thing to show me is a camera case. So there's some smarts in there. It keeps working out what I'm most likely to buy. And then kind of the newest thing that's really evolved in websites is marketing automation. So marketing automation is absolute genius. At its simplest form in a retail environment, it's literally sending you an abandoned cart email. So we know that if you've got something in your cart and we trigger you an abandoned cart email 24 hours later, you might have been distracted, couldn't find your credit card, kids were screaming, so you haven't completed the order. We'll get 10% approximately of those people will convert. So it's a real simple automation. We don't do anything. It's set up, abandoned cart, trigger an email. But when you get into real clever marketing automation, it's absolutely next level. So this is one of my clients, and that what I've highlighted there, the right lesson at the right time for each child. So this whole journey is personalized. So they come online, the kid, you can do some tests, work out what level of maths that kid understands. We start triggering information about why this would be so valuable to your child, why it'll relate to what level they are at school. We're capturing information, learning, serving the right information back. If you watch a video, we trigger you certain information. If you haven't watched a video, we might trigger that information again, saying, look, you need to watch this. This is important stuff. So it's all that. And this all takes place without anyone touching anything. That's the beauty of it. These people are getting such valuable information, learning everything they want to know about this product. And we haven't done a thing. It's all happened automatically. And you can say, oh, this is a bit big brother, but it's how people actually want. It's convenience. So it's about, just having that system. So we're not, you mightn't even be trying to sell something, but you're trying to generate leads, and it can do smart stuff. So, we can have it where we have information that draws people in, they do a search, they find us, and it might be, something about construction. So they find information about construction. But if someone looks on pricing and we know who they are, we want to be able to trigger a message to someone in sales saying, look, hey, Kevin from XYZ Construction, he's been looked at this. He watched the video on our new roofing product. Now he's looked at pricing. So we can trigger an email to the local rep, all automated, that says, hey, give Kevin a ring from XYZ Construction. He's interested in roofing. So the rep rings up and they go, wow, you must have ESP. I was just looking at your website. So there's so many smarts you can build into these things that just add to the consumer experience, makes it so easy for them to find what they want and give you valuable insights into the customers. So first point, before you start anything, you must truly understand your customer. So this is still my favorite insight. Harley Davidson don't sell motorbikes. They sell the ability for a 50-year-old accountant to ride through small towns and have people afraid of them. That's what you're selling, so that's true insight. So if you're building a website for Harley Davidson, you've got to kind of capture that, present that, knowing that, I want to look tough and rugged when I drive through in my leathers and my helmet. But the reality is underneath, I'm a middle-aged 50-year-old man, probably an office professional, because I'm the guy that can afford the bike. So, understand who you're talking to, what their motivations are, and suddenly your website will be a lot more powerful and relevant and resonate with the people you're trying to talk to. Know your customer's future. It is so easy. Just about any industry, people have a purchase cycle. So if someone's pre-pregnant, not so interested in information, they find out they're pregnant, one will read anything. It's the perfect time to engage. But if you wait to try and sell them something after they've had the baby, it's too late. They're so stressed, they're so tired, they're so busy. You should have been talking to them when they were pregnant. So there's all these things, and every industry has a cycle, a season. So you've got to understand what's those key trigger points for purchase. And quite often it's pain. Like, pain points are worth more than happy pills. And by that, if you can talk to someone right at the right time about something, then, your perfect thing is if someone's getting insurance and the insurance is due for a renewal and they're looking at their insurance bill going, oh, $1,200. But if we can trigger a message to you right before you're going to renew your insurance about our offer, boom, perfect time. You go, oh, boy, I'm just thinking about changing, and lo and behold, here's an offer from someone else. Yeah, and we can capture those smarts. We can deliver the right message to the right person, and deliver the solutions your customers are looking for. So that's kind of just elaborating. If you've got the right website and it's talking to the right person at the right time, that's marketing nirvana. So that's going to generate your leads. It's going to generate your sales. But you've got to think about that in front. Who are you talking to? What's the right time to talk to them? And then does our website deliver that, make it easy for them? Okay, so obviously a great website drives customer engagement, sales, and loyalty. And that's got to be the outcomes you're looking for. So, pretty obvious, but a lot of people don't start with the end in mind. They just think, oh, I need a website. So they go and talk to a web developer. Okay, briefing and working with the web developers. Right, so all the web developers are the greatest. Freedom of a tight brief. Do your research, pick any two. Don't be wallpaper, and get independent advice. So let's kick into that. So not all web developers are created equally. It's every web developer will tell you they're the greatest web developer in the world. Guaranteed, right? But that's true across all industries. But there's nothing worse. No one's going to go out there and say, hey, look, I'm the 7th best web developer in Matter. It doesn't fill you with confidence. So yes, they should be pitching themselves and talking, but the reality is most of them are not. And if they literally specialize in using, building Shopify websites, what do you think, what platform are they going to push you into? Shopify. If they specialize in building in something like WordPress or Wiz or many of the magnitudes or HubSpot, of course, that's going to be the solution they deliver you into. So you've actually got to sit back and work out, what do I need? And then go to the appropriate company, looking at what they've done and go, hey, that's the solution. I like the look of that. That's who we need to talk to. But you've got to go to them with the right brief. So that brings me to my next point. It's all about the brief. If you take one thing out of this presentation, do your legwork up front, get the brief right. And this is my favorite quote from I worked for many years in advertising at Saatchi and Saatchi and Ogilvy and DDB. And my favorite quote is, give me the freedom of a tight brief. So often you'd have the clients being lazy. They'd come along and they've written, oh, we want a TV ad, or we want this, want that. And then you'd present to them and they go, oh, actually, we can't do that. Because, we can't have blue. That's our competitors. It's like, you couldn't have told me that beforehand, and so what happens is there's all this simple stuff you should have thought about. What's the key insight? Or do we have to dig at go away and investigate your clients and understand them? So it slows down the process. So what happens is that you don't have a really tight brief. One, you're probably talking to the wrong person. Two, they put their heart and soul into developing the brief or developing the website. And then you come back and say, oh, no, we sell vintage cars. We're about a vintage car information site. And we thought you wanted a shopping site because you want to sell vintage car parts. It sounds so silly, but it does happen. And we've put you on the wrong platform because we've put you on a shopping platform, and we can't really do all the cool stuff with marketing integration that you really wanted, because you want to get all those real fanatical vintage car guys and really engage with them, start conversations with them. And we've put you into a pure retail site because you chatted to the wrong guy, but you haven't done a tight brief. So here's a quick snapshot of what you need to know. Okay, at a minimum, the objective. What is your objective? Is it to generate leads? Is it sales? Is it just general information? Like the government website. And are they time-bound and measurable objectives? Business model. Tell me how the website drives revenue. Is it by just funneling leads into our sales channel, driving people into store? Is it shopping online? There's all these things we need to know. Is it just a case of, one of my clients is a cosmetic doctor. It's, we can't sell that online, but boy, can we put out beautiful content that draws, generally the woman doing, wanting the treatments. We draw them in with the right content. They come to our website. We generate leads. We find out by what they've viewed and what they're interested, but we need them to book. So we're trying to just drive them through to a booking page on our website. So we can't generate revenue directly from the website, but we can capture those leads, let them self-filter into the treatments they want, book the appointment. The first thing we even know half these people exist is we've got a solid booking in for next Tuesday for dermal fillers, Nirvana. Target audience. Who are you talking to? What are their pain points? What are those things that really trigger purchase? And, having children is a great one. Banks want to know who's had a baby. Insurance companies want to know who. Banks know that your income's going to halve, your costs are going to double. So if you're a bank, what a perfect time to engage with someone. Engage them. Find out, hey, look, you're having a baby. Exciting. Boom, boom, boom. We can, I talked about this in another webinar, like Tesco is the biggest pet insurer in the country, in the whole of the UK, because someone buys puppy food, they've got a puppy. You can start a conversation with them, trigger them, instead of just sending them the generic Tesco email, they trigger messages that have beautiful pictures of puppies. And if they're really clever, they find out what type of puppy they've got. With our baby websites, we'd let the mum load a photo of her baby. So when the mum came back to the website, she saw a photo of her own baby. Which website does she love coming to? Ours, so, but what is the insights that are going to drive them to want to engage with you more than someone who's just got a generic product and price? Budget, so important. Again, like some people like, just tell us what it'll cost. I seriously work with some websites where the best thing I can do is say, look, go out there, get Squarespace, get Wix, pay the $25 a month, build it yourself, you'll be fine, here's some direction. I have others where we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're the right solution, but don't just go, build what you want. I put my heart and soul into developing something that's going to cost you 40 grand. You go, I've got 5. You've wasted everyone's time, everyone's disillusioned. And just tell me, if you've got 5K, we can do a great solution for 5K, but let me know you've got 5K. If you've got no money, I can help you with that too. I can point you in some things where you can do it all for free, and give you some tips on that. You've also got to think how much you've got to build and operate the website, because obviously if you've got a shopping website, there's ongoing costs. You're probably renting the platform. You've got to pay transaction fees on the credit cards. You've got to pay, someone's processing those credit card transactions, so you've got to pay a monthly rental on that. So you've got to make sure what are your costs going on. And some platforms are very cheap, some are very expensive, and they actually get you with a low entry point, but then there's massive high ongoing costs. So you're actually, you've got to look at the long-term cost of running that. Timing, when does the website need to launch? Key events, just those simple things. Like if you want it next week, you're not going to get the greatest website. But if that's the reality, look, hey, something's just happened, we need to have this out there next week. We can probably do something, but, we need to know that we're working to a 3-day deadline. Mandatories, T's and C's, logos, colors, all that stuff. Give us the freedom that we know exactly, hey, look, we need our logo this big, front and center. Okay, we'll design around that. But if you come afterwards and we've designed you something beautiful, and then you come back and say, oh, look, I made my logo to be the whole screen. One, I'd argue against why that's not a good idea. But 2, if I know that up front, we can have that conversation before we spent time and materials on building and designing. Outcomes. This is what success looks like. And most people don't think this, like, oh, I've got a website. But what do you need that website to do? What's success? Is it capturing leads? Is it building your customer database? That's the important stuff. Right. Do your research. There's nothing better than looking out there and finding competitors and websites you love, because it's such a clear brief for me. So I understand that, hey, look, I just love this one homepage. This is a website. I was working with a meat company, surprisingly. And I found this image from America, and I found the website, and the website was great. But that just says artisan, just that homepage image. It just tells me so much about the quality of, and the heritage. And, instantly I fell in love with this website. And operationally, it's actually a very nice website. But then find websites you like, explain why you like them. Look at the functionality in them, do your homework, and then talk to a web developer. Pick any two, speed, quality, price, pick any two. In advertising, it used to amaze me. We'd have these massive companies, and they'd have months to think about something. They'd brief you, say, oh, look, we've got to have this by next Tuesday. I've got a meeting with the CEO. And it's like, the creatives have 1 day. So you're going to get the first idea, not the best idea. And then a month from now or 6 months from now, You know, you walk into the CEO and she's not going to go, oh, well done, you got that ready in one day. She's going to go, this is terrible work, you know, and so it reflects bad on everyone just because you haven't given us the time to give you the best idea. So, and it's such a true statement: speed, quality, price, pick any two. Yeah, and hopefully you're always going for, you know, quality and price. You know, if you give us enough time, we can probably do it cheaply. But if we have to pay rush rates on designers and everything else, then it's going to get expensive. Don't be wallpaper, have personality. I mean, it breaks my heart. Like I was talking before about baby websites, and I go to so many, say, baby websites in that category, and all I see is product and price. I mean, parents are in love with their children. Bring their children to life. You know, people love their cats and dogs. Show them puppy kittens, you know, puppies and kittens. Instantly, that's why they're so successful on the internet. Draw me in with imagery. Tell me your stories. Tell me why you're different. What makes you better? Your website needs to communicate that. If you just got product and price, I quite rationally go, well, you're selling it for $4 and you're selling it for $5. I'll buy it for $4. But if I'm in love with your brand, the way you treat me, then of course I wonder. I don't even look at the other websites because you make me feel so special. You know, so yeah, this is a real famous marketer I love, Seth Godin. The key to success is to find a way to stand out, be the purple cow in a field of monochrome Holsteins. Yeah, so that's it. Don't just be wallpaper. And then get independent advice. So yeah, I've built literally hundreds of websites over the years. I've operated retail sites 15 years. You know, I'm probably going to add more value. And again, there's some awesome web developers out there, but if you've got a web developer who's just doing information websites and he goes, yeah, I can build you a retail site, he's going to fall into a lot of traps and probably build stuff because he's never run a retail site. You know, so you want to talk to someone who's done something that you've done or you're thinking of doing, and find the ins and outs and what you need to think about. So you get all that stuff sorted up front before you start building. Right, my last section, driving customer engagement and loyalty. So you've built the website, everyone's happy, it's on brief, it does what it wants, you're ready to launch, and now you've got to actually capture customers and drive sales. And so that's where a lot of people fall down. They've built the website and then they say, oh, the website doesn't work, but you haven't operated the system. You haven't kind of started funneling the leads. So, you know, some points on this, you know, sales processes has already started. Customers like to help themselves. It's all about content. Build your fans. You know, technology is your friend, and you've got to drive a return on investment. So this is one of my favorite stats. You know, business to business customers are 53% through the sales process before they even contact you. So if you haven't got a website, they found your opposition. If you haven't got the right information on your website, they probably haven't found you in a search, but two, they've probably left because, you know, I'm doing this Sunday night. I've got to be on site, you know, tomorrow morning. I want to know if you've got this product. If I know you've got this product, hey, look, I can self-sort, find it. So it's already started, whether you're there or not. So, man, so many people go, oh, you know, I don't think we need a website. Your customers are already there. So you need at least some information. So, you know, this is the modern customer's help journey, you know, self-help first. So I've got a problem. I need something just broke. The first thing I do is I Google it, you know, and if I can't find the answer, then I'll search online. And if the self-help sales, you know, then I'll probably go to social media. And finally, if I have to, I'll talk to a human, you know, but if you know, your customers are going to be up there at the front of that queue, then if I've solved the problem, I've already gone and spent money with them or gone and spoken to them well before, you know, I've gone through your process that's made it so hard to find, because you want to be something unique and special if you're waiting for someone to actually come through and start asking questions via the phone these days. It's all about content, you know, so content. You've got to have, your website has to act as a magnet, has to draw people in. So if you've got the right content, I do a search. I mean, an interesting one, you know, some will be doing this. Well, I want to build a website, boom, you know, there'll be ads at the top. Then there'll be the really good content written by really good companies, and they'll own that space at the top, which is called rich snippets, and Google loves that. And that's all about the quality and the cleverness of the answer. So Google loves 5 ways, 3 steps, 4 things to think about. Then video, Google loves video. So that comes up next. So, yeah, by the time a website answer arrives, I've highlighted it at the bottom, you're well below the fold. So I've probably never even found your website because the Google's so clever, it's populated the best content, which was in that rich snippets field. If someone's paid to do advertising, they're above that. Video comes next. So, you know, if you haven't got the right content on your website, doesn't matter how beautifully or it's engineered, you won't be found. Build your fans. You've got to have people love doing business with you, okay? And the lovely thing with online is you can actually deliver a lot more personal experience online than you can in store. You know, everyone loves it when you walk into a cafe and go, oh, hey, Kevin, how you going? You're flat white, you know, that they know who you are. You walk into a store, you know, oh, how's your mum going? That's not online. We can do all that and more. We can make it such a personal experience with our websites. We had so many of our mums would go with our baby website going, you must have ESP. But we would tell them when they were due to order, when they were going to run out of products. If they ran out of products and ran to a supermarket, that was a disaster for them. And it was a disaster for us because we've missed that sale, we'll never get back. But we actually knew their whole lives and could populate when they were due to order products, weeks, months in advance. So the whole time they relied on us, you know. So suddenly, you know, they become massive fans, and someone else get out there like Countdown, the warehouse, you know, they might go, oh, we're $2 cheaper. And yet 20 or 30% of people might buy on price. But for those ones that are relying on us to build that relationship, they come to our website, the kids, their babies' pictures there, we're telling them what they'll need, when they'll need it, all based around the age of their child. I mean, $2 cheaper becomes less and less important. You know, we've built loyalty, we've built fans. So, you know, this is a great quote from Theodore Roosevelt, you know, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So, you know, it's about, you've got to show love, and you can do that electronically just even better, as I said, because, you know, you can track that journey, trigger the message to the rep. The rep knows all about what the customer's problem is when they ring. It's just better relationship building. Add a personal touch, you know, great, you know, great stat, personalized content does 178% better than non-personalized content. Again, it's so easy for us. You know, you can have the email personalized. When the order's picked and packed, it can go, hey, Kevin, thanks very much for ordering. Hoping, you know, you and your cats are having a great day. Put in the cats' names. We used to do all that stuff. You know, you find out the cats' names, put them in the email, you know, refer to the cats. It's so easy to do, but if you've got the right website. Yeah, and so out of that, my second to last point, you know, hopefully you're getting out of this, technology is your friend. Technology will help you run a better, smarter business. Now, you'll capture all that customer data. You'll be able to use that customer data to make their experience with you richer and more exciting and more engaging. You know, it's going to help you generate quality leads. You know, people self-sort. So it's suddenly, you know, you've got really good leads to follow up. So you haven't got, you know, 500 people on a list of prospects. You've got the 10 that open the email, watch the video. You've been triggered a list of 10 hot leads. It's so much easier to ring 10 people that you know are already engaged than ring 500, because it breaks everyone's heart by the time you get to 20, 30. So, you know, we can self-sort with the right website technology. Yeah, you get to make sales in your sleep. It's a lovely way to do business, that if you've got an online website, you know, you go to bed, wake up, and, you know, there's $30,000 sitting in your account and a whole lot of orders in your inbox. You know, it's 24/7. Some of your customers are buying, you know, at odd hours. They are shopping at 12 o'clock on a Sunday. You know, if you're not available to them to buy, and your competitor is, you probably have lost a sale before you even knew there was a potential sale there. So, you know, nice way to do business. Wake up and you've made money. And then my final point, drive and optimize return on investment. You've got to know what's happening on your website, what success looked like, as I said at the start, measure it, learn. You know, even simple free tools like Google Analytics will measure every tier in your website. Where are people dropping off? How much did, you know, you can, with free tools, you can post a Facebook post, and if you've got an e-tail website, track it right through to say, hey, look, we made $912.11 from that Facebook post. It's free technology, but it's got to be embedded properly in your website. So you can make your website so clever and learn, but you've got to say, hey, look, why didn't that work? What's the insight here? Or why are all these people buying this product? Who are they? You know, and website and technology enable you to learn that stuff. And then you start optimizing. You might find you're sitting on a gold mine of a product you thought wasn't that important, but you've got to know and consciously dedicate to look at, or have someone look at, what are the learnings? What are we seeing here? You know, what are people doing on our website? So, you know, drive and optimize return on investment. So that's me wrapping up. If I, you know, just to summarize, you've got to determine the best solution. You know, your customers are already online. Understand the options, understand your customer, know your customer's future, deliver the solution your customers are looking for. Yeah, and a great website will deliver strong ROI. It's all about the brief. As I said, if there's one thing you take out of this, get the brief right. So, yeah, all web developers will tell you they're the greatest, but obviously it's horses for courses, and it's based on their history and knowledge. Freedom of a type brief, just get that right. Do your research, find websites you like and why. Pick any two, you know, speed, quality, price. Don't be wallpaper, have personality, stand out, and get independent advice. You know, this doesn't have to be someone like me. It can be, you know, anyone that, you know, anyone you know that might have been involved. Ring people up. You know, people are quite helpful in New Zealand. If you say, hey, look, I like your website. What do you like about it? And they go, oh, actually, it's dog. You know, we spent do some research. You know, speak to someone else. Or, hey, look, I'm thinking of using this web developer. I see he's built a website for you, or she's built a website for you. How'd you find the process? And sadly, sometimes you go, oh, how long you got? You know, and you've just saved yourself a big mistake because you just got some independent feedback. You know, customer engagement and loyalty. You know, the sales process has started, so if you're not online, you're missing out on sales. Customers like to self-help. Make it easy. Give them the information. Show them the pricing. Tell them how to get hold of you or place the order. Content. You've got to have the right content to attract customers. Build your fans. You know, technology is your friend, and you've got to drive the return on investment. So you just can't build it and leave it. You've got to build it, monitor, learn, improve. So my last point, yeah, your customers are already online. Your business needs to be there too.